So right now the Jeep is sitting just a little bit too high. We want to lower it down a few inches, but one of the issues with that is the fenders. They're going to hit the tires. So what do we need to do? We need to get new fenders, and this time we're going with Highline. Oh. What's up guys, Kyle at Fortune Off-Road. This video we're talking everything about some Highline fender install for the YJ. So this whole time I've been wanting to lower the YJ a few inches and I want to keep my tire size. The easiest way to do that I think is to go with Highline fenders. There's a couple people that make them. I think the most popular ones are probably Metal Cloak, Genright, and Poison Spider, and I think they all have pros and cons. I think the Metal Cloak ones are really cool looking, but it's not like a traditional high fender. It kind of just moves the tube into a different spot, and I think the price is fine. I like the inner fender combos, all that kind of stuff. After looking at it long enough in a lot of different Jeeps with these different fenders, I decided to go with the Genright high fenders just because it's such an old school look. They kind of look like an old Willys or something from the front with them, so I really like that, and that's what we decided to go with. Some of the most troublesome bolts on these old Jeeps are these Torx bolts that don't want to come out. They're really easily stripped, and I find if you just use an impact gun and hit them really hard right away, they usually want to come out. So I was following the directions, and they give you kind of this template that you can cut out and put on your stock fender. That way you can retain some of the inner fender and some of the flat fender for more support. But as I started doing it, I realized this isn't going to work for me. I'm going to have a fender with a huge gap above it, and I just ended up scrapping the whole thing once I started cutting it because I really just didn't think it was applicable to me. All right, so we finally got this fender mounted up and it looks really awesome. Look at all of this room we've got in there. I measured this out and it is 3 inches more than the stock fender that was in there. So we have a ton of room. I didn't measure down here. It's kind of pointless anyways because we are going to move this axle forward eventually, but good golly, that is a lot of room. So on this side, there wasn't really that much to take off. It's mostly just like battery wires and stuff like that that needed to hang up. For fitment in the front right here, we have a little bit of a gap right there, which I would like to see filled in. There might be some adjustment there because this is aluminum. We might be able to play with that and bend it a little bit. But to get these bolts to even start going in there, we had to move this nut on this grill support from right there all the way up. It's like maxed out now. We had to move it quite a bit. Now we're working on the driver's side. There is a ton of stuff on this side of the Jeep. We're gonna have to do something. We don't have the fender liners right now. We didn't order them. They're like 350 bucks, which, you know, is just kind of pushing that price of this fender install way up. For now, I'm just gonna put these fenders on. Then I'm going to try to find a way to make my own supports. We're going to see how all that goes. I might have to bend and get their fender supports just for the sake of time because this is a lot of stuff to secure. So if you watched my rock slider video, and one of the things I was concerned about is this bar being in the way. What I did is after cutting the passenger side, I got a piece of cardboard. It's actually like one of those manila folders because I feel like those are a lot easier to work with and they're much skinnier. And I traced my pattern over there. So it comes down at an angle. This follows the angle of the fender, which is a little bit different than this angle. And then this right here is where the tube comes out. Then it goes down to the bar, and then I just went around it, and then it went like straight down at the bottom. So this whole chunk's gonna come off. This side is a little bit trickier to get in just because you kind of have to go around this here. This is definitely doable, and I'm really looking forward to getting this all bolted up, but we've still got a ways to go. Driver's side mounted. So we have to cut a little bit right here off this little like weather stripping gutter thing. That's got to get trimmed up about 3 inches. It's from the seam. And then we've got the same thing going on with this front fender. There's a gap right there. It's the same as on the other side. I'm not really worried about it. I mean, worst case, I could probably just throw some black RTV in there and it'll probably match up. But we've got to adjust this still. The support isn't lined up with this groove yet. That's not a big deal. The air box is hooked back up to this little inlet, but there's nothing supporting it. So it's just kind of wiggling around. Coolant bottles playing cliffhanger down there. And then this whole assembly needs to get supported. Those are the long-term things that we're looking at. But right now, The next thing we need to do is trim up rock slider just a little bit more so it matches this angle. I think what we can do next is pull the fenders off, clean up all those cuts that we made, and then we can start looking at cutting the hood. We've got to cut 3 inches off right here so the hood can sit flat on there again, but we're getting close. So hot and sweaty. Tight quarters in the garage. We got everything cut up, and now we just have to do like some finishing touches on it. We need to take the flap disc to it and get the hood to lay a little bit flat. This is where we're at right now. This part under here needs to be trimmed just a tiny bit so it can sit flush. You can see we've got a tiny bit of gap above the grill, and then we have some rubber molding that's gonna go underneath this whole thing. So like there's a little low spot right here, so I'm gonna mark that up, make sure we hit it again, and then of course like there's nothing hinged on or anything, so this all has to slide back a little bit. There we go. But yeah, that turned out pretty good. It's always kind of risky cutting something that you only have one of, like a hood. Pretty much it. That's what we're looking at for the fitment. I think we're definitely getting pretty close. So this side looks a tad more even. Let's see. Yeah, it's wiggling around right now because nothing's bolted down. Oh yeah, just can't capture it in camera in here. It's too tight. Pretty slick. I mean, look at all that room we have. Huge amount of room. Our goal of lowering the YJ 2 inches, I think, is going to be very doable with these new fenders. Like I said, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to take a marker. Any of the low spots, I'm just going to mark them so I hit them with the flap wheel a little bit harder. We've got to make this part under here rest a little bit flatter. Yeah, we're getting pretty close. So we've got a lot done, and usually we would be done at this point, but I'll show you. We've got a few more things to work on. You can see here I'm just wiring up this light right here. These were just a little Amazon special. I use these in the rear bumper build for the Samurai. I knew I'd be using them again. They fit perfectly in this little hole right here. I think you can buy these from Genright too, but I'm guessing on Amazon they're gonna be way cheaper. Like I said, we've got a little bit more work to do. You can see we kind of scuffed up the fender a little bit while we were trying to get everything in position, and that's not a big deal. It kind of just looks like there's a weird glare on here, but this is actually just really rough paint. For whatever reason, that primer was putting out some chunks and I didn't catch it, and I just started painting the semi-gloss black on top of it. Most of the fender looks pretty good, but this was like 1.5 coats when I realized that was happening, and there's no point in painting over it. I ended up just moving forward. We're gonna have to paint the Jeep eventually too. Like this spot actually looks pretty good, but most of it's faded and all messed up like that. So we're looking for a new red color to put on here. I'm hoping just to do rattle can Rust-Oleum red. I was looking towards Royal, what is it called? I was looking toward Regal red, I think is what it's called. Tested some out right here and on the old fender, and it's just a little bit too orange for me. I want something a little bit darker. So I'm looking at some other options. Once we tape everything off to paint it, I'm just gonna start sanding this down and get it nice and smooth, and then we'll throw some more of that semi-gloss black on there so it's looking nice and good. The other things we need to do, some of this molding on here, just because this is a sharp edge and I had a bunch left over. Then of course we've got it all along the hood here. That all fits pretty well, looks good, but there is some final fitment we need to do with the fender. Like this whole part of the fender needs to come up a little bit. You can see a tiny bit of gap right there because there is a little bit of gap where the hood aligns, but not a huge deal. The hardware, it all comes with this like silver hardware. Originally I was thinking I should just go all black. It'd be cool and have a uniform look on it, like how these rock sliders have these black ones here. But this is an Allen head. I like to keep everything simple. You can see my hood hinges. I painted those black and swapped to some hex heads just because it's so much easier to work with. I'm slowly going to start transitioning everything on here to that, including this stuff, these torques that get stripped out real easy. Previous owner put some Allen heads on there. We don't want to do that. We just want it all hex heads. That way it'll be nice and easy. The last thing we need to worry about is, holy moly, look at this giant gap in here. It really is huge. And on the passenger side, there's not a whole lot. There's like these wires that need to get bundled up, zip tied to something. I was kind of thinking maybe we'll play off of this. These fenders do come with some holes right here where you can put the fender liner in. This is the weird thing. Genright does make high fender liners for the TJ high fenders, but not for the YJ. And they are a little bit different. So when I was talking to the guys on the phone, they were like, just order the TJ ones. You'll have to do a little bit of trimming and then they'll go right on. So a couple issues with us for that. Number one, they're like $350, which is a lot of money for me. Yeah, I think later on down the line, I'll be like, man, I should have just got those. But right now I'm thinking, how can we get away with not doing that? Especially because we still need to take the 2-inch body lift off the Jeep. And this is something I had to do first. I had to put the high fenders on so when we lower it, we can actually still run these 38s. What are we going to do about that? I don't know just yet, but this is the troublesome side. You can see this airbox isn't really hanging on to anything. This huge assembly right here is heavy and it's really not hanging on to anything. So once we take that 2-inch body lift out, you know, this will probably be maybe only an inch below the fender. Remember, we're going to move this whole front axle forward like 3 inches. So that's going to change how everything's looking down here. And we're going to end up cutting off this shock tower and putting a much bigger one up here, running a bigger shock and moving it. So I kind of want to play off of that shock tower for when we do our fender liners if we're going to do anything. We'll see if I can get away with it like this, but right now we can't drive it like this. And we've got a lot of other stuff too. As you can see, garage is a mess, rear axle's out and torn apart. We really got a lot of stuff changing on the Jeep, and hopefully it's just going to be a different animal by the time we get it out there. So if you have any feedback for me, put it down in those comments. I'll get you some more shots of this Jeep before we end just so you can get a good idea what it looks like. Thanks for checking out our video, guys. If you want to follow us along this build, don't forget to subscribe. If you missed any of the previous videos, just check out the Jeep build. I think it's called the YJ build playlist off our channel here. Yeah, we've got a lot of stuff coming. We've taken this on 2 trips wheeling. One of them was easy, one was pretty challenging. We're just gonna take it out a ton more. We've got a lot of stuff to do to this Wrangler, so definitely stay tuned for that. See you guys next time.